Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest is in the building. The legend is in the building. Rest in peace, Pimp C. UGK is in the building. The OG Big Bun, Uncle Bun, is in the building, man. Bun, how you doing?
I'm all right, Joe. How you doing, man?
I couldn't be better, man. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to speak with me. You know I love you. Where are you right now?
I'm at home. I'm in the kitchen right now. I just walked in the house.
You're in the house, in the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
You and I have a very important date coming up in about a month.
One of the most important days of the year for me. One of the few things I get to actually indulge in for my own personal selfish reasons. Typically, a lot of what I do is, professional fulfillments, family fulfillments, trying to, make sure fans and different people I interact with have a good experience. But football season is about to start. And when football season starts, that's me time. It's the only time I get to control any type of environment in this house specifically. My wife runs everything in the house, as most houses.
Mm-hmm.
And even my wife understands that when football Sunday starts and I start grabbing the iPad and I grab my phone and I start listening to these different fantasy shows in the morning, I'm working on my lineups. She's like, I'm not going to bother this man. This is one time I don't have to run errands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go to the grocery store. I don't have to take some trash out. I don't have to try to fix something. I'm left to my own resources, and it feels amazing.
We are, to the audience, we are flying to Atlanta for our fantasy football draft. It's always a really big event and occasion with full of family and love and just, it's a good time. I am the worst team in the league per our commissioner report that just got sent out yesterday. But I look forward. I look forward to this. Can you reveal anything to me about your draft strategy? What pick do you have?
I have 3.
Ooh.
I have 3. And I thought about trading down to like 6 or 7. But I really want to get my first guy. I really want to lock in my first guy. And I think I got a good chance of getting my first round draft pick, not left to what's left. I think that I don't think anybody's going to go for the guy that I want in those first 2 picks. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited because, we typically only ever really see each other under a round of like professional circumstances, that we happen to be at the same event or something like that. But this is like a date. This is marked on the calendar. You know what I'm saying? We get to see each other and we laugh and have a good time. But then when you're on the clock, shit starts getting real.
Yeah, last year I wasn't at the draft because I was in Mykonos on vacation for my birthday, and I think the lights were too bright for the gentleman that I sent, and my team was horrible. Yeah, it was bad.
I can't say much, Joe, because if you're the worst team as per the commissioner, I'm second worst.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm 11th. I'm 11th. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the new kid in town, right? I'm the newest member to the team. I was very interested. I got a call from Kaiser and Rappaport, and I kind of had an idea of what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped at the chance, if for nothing else, because I enjoy football. I particularly enjoy fantasy football. But this gave me an opportunity to actually get to know people like you closer, people like Ja closer. We know each other professionally. There's a lot of common respect, mutual respect, and common courtesy involved when we see each other. But now it's like, these are friendships going into brotherhoods now. So I remember Ja had a show here in Houston, and we played each other that same Sunday. So that makes those kind of moments of connection resonate even deeper.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing because we all come from, peripherally, if not directly from the industry, and this gives us all a pretty level playing field, I think, We're all contemporaries on a certain level, but this allows us to all just be men that enjoy football. Nobody has to, put on any airs, as my grandparents would say.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. You're absolutely right. I'm really excited for football season. What's your team? Who's your team?
Well, I'm Texans. I think we're in that restructuring position now. We got a new head coach, D'Amico Ryans, who has a long-term contract. Our last two coaches literally only had like a 1-year contract, so it really couldn't affect any real change within 1 year. Just one guy inheriting the bullshit after the other. But the coach we have now is a former player. He's very respected within the city as well, within the NFL. He comes from running the defense of the 49ers. And so D'Amico is bringing a new energy into the city. People feel like there's a long-term plan in place as opposed to just band-aiding situations.
Mm-hmm.
We got a great draft pick. We got 2 great draft picks because we traded up.
Yeah.
And so we 2 amazing draft picks in the first round. And I like the direction in which this team is going. So I'm excited about the potential. And plus, we're going to actually have 4 Trillburger stalls in the Texans football stadium this season. So people get to come to a game, eat a Trillburger, and enjoy the show.
My last question about the Texans: How did you feel the organization handled the whole Deshaun situation?
I don't. Not to get too deep into it, but I don't think this thing was handled in the best way.
Yeah,
I think that there could have been a better management. I think everything was really media, right, and perception. And I think that if they would have just really got to the issue and handled the issue instead of trying to sugarcoat this thing and kind of brush it under the rug as if it wasn't what it was, right, which was a hindrance.
Yeah, I agree. Listen,
to what the team was trying to get to, so.
Yeah, I agree.
We getting feedback. We getting feedback from you, Bun. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Hello. Oh, we got some feedback. Bun muted up. Let's see if we can get our difficulties corrected. Bun, let me know if you're still there or you got to call back.
No, I'm here. I stopped talking.
You're still there. You got to.
Oh, you got to turn. Do you have the amp show playing in the background? Oh, I think he hung up on me. I think Bun speaks for all men about how he feels about football season and our time to just be men and kind of just unwind. And it's our form of escapism to escape the responsibilities of the house, of the household. I think he speaks for all of us. There we go. Bun should be back on the line. There we go.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know exactly what happened with it because I only got one app open. But no, you were right. You know what I'm saying? This allows us to just have some form of escapism because we come from entertainment, right? And we get so immersed in some of these things, and it's very hard to detach and just be human, right? We're always often on somebody's clock, We're always under some level of obligation to someone. And so football kind of just gives us an even playing field to just be men. I love it. I enjoy it because I know people, right? But I've gotten to know people's personal personality, and outside of Rappaport, right, who I think everybody kind of knows who he is and how he gets down. Mm-hmm. It's been refreshing. Guys are actually as cool and genuine as I hope they would be.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Question I always wanted to ask you: Are you sick of people asking you about Big Pimpin'?
I am not because
I'm sick of hearing people ask you about Big Pimpin'.
But look, I get it, right? I get it. It's typically the easiest line to draw for most people. And, they don't want to, a lot of people are not trying to do heavy lifting and really go in depth and try to feel how, try to really tap into something unique and genuine. Big Pimpin' typically becomes the easiest connection point for me with music and where they're trying to get to go with the story. But no, it's not as crazy as this burger shit. No one talks about music anymore. No one talks to me about music anymore.
That's so interesting to me.
It's all burgers. Like literally people that I know personally, I'll drive around the city. I'll go to the same Waffle House, same HEB, and all of that. And it's never about music. It's all about, man, I got to get to your place, or we went to the place, or we had it at the rodeo, or we had it here, and man, I see everything's going good, and it's beautiful for me because it allows me to connect with people that have no idea who I am as an artist, right? The burger is its own like separate cultural thing. Now, for people to have a deeper connection to it, yeah, being a Bun B fan and a UGK fan or a Houston hip hop fan makes it resonate a little bit deeper, but it's not the only reason why people come to get the burger, which on its head, you know, proves that the fact that this is a hype brand is false, right? That's a false notion because people come and eat the burger who have no idea who Bun B is.
Wait, who said that? I never a hype brand.
Yeah, people think it's because some of my friends are coming by and eating the burger that's what it is. It's just people hyping it up for me. But there are people that come there to eat the burger that have no idea who Bun B is, have never heard my music, but have heard good things about the burger. And for me, that's cool. I don't really care how people make their way to Trill Burger. I just need you to get in the door and try the burger because once you try it, you're sold. Easy.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch you at Jones Beach, Yankee Stadium. You and the Trill Burger have been everywhere while I've been on the move. But I can't wait to have one. I need to taste it.
But you're gonna get it in Atlanta. You were celebrating in Mykonos last draft, so you didn't get to have the burger. But you will have this burger in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, it's lit. We lit. Talk to me about your passion for cooking.
Well, it started as a food blog. So me and my guy Premium Pete about 10 years ago, who we bonded over sneakers. He's a very well-known sneakerhead and cultural contributor. And he and we met over some other things, but then we bonded over food, right? Mm-hmm. And then every time I would go to New York, he'd be like, hey, come here, we got to go eat that. And when they come here, I'd be like, hey, you got to go eat this. So we started a food blog, yougottaeatthis.com, about 10 years ago, with the idea that at the very least, we'd probably be able to get good tables at restaurants. But if we really push for it, it could lead to other intersections in the culinary industry, mainly trying to get some kind of food product in people's hands. So he ended up getting something going first with his pasta sauce. He created his grandmother's pasta sauce and packaged it. And then I was approached with the burgers, with the idea of the burger. I didn't create the burger. Someone had created this burger and was looking for the right partner. Mm-hmm. And they approached me with the opportunity. I tried the burger and I was sold. Like I was literally sold from day one. Like, let's go. What are we doing? And the thing is, I had two options, right? I had a licensing option where I could have just threw my name and my face on it, showed up for a couple of pop-ups a month, and just got a check in the mail, right? Or I could take a significant piece of ownership into the company and then be just fully hands-on. And I chose to do that because I believed in the product. I used all my blood, sweat, and tear equity. I put it into it. All my cultural equity I put into it. And I leveraged a lot of knowledge about the industry. So I would look at music festivals and be like, okay, well, I know this cat, I know those dudes, and I know dude that managed him. So that gave me entry points to put the product in people's hands, knowing that once they ate the product, I would get a major cosign from it. I've never had anybody tell me they didn't like this burger at all.
What year was it that you tasted the burger?
2021.
Oh, this thing is moving fast.
Yeah. No, we just started this company as a pop-up 2 years ago. This is the 1 year anniversary of us winning Best Burger in America on Good Morning America in Times Square.
Wow.
And I mean, we're just going, you know, everybody I talk to, everywhere I go, everybody wants franchises. Everybody wants their own Trill Burger. I'm not even looking that far right now, trying to keep my hands around what I got, continue to show proof of concept, open up another door that can help support that first location, and then just really solidify the brand as an operation, you know? Then I can look to start expanding peripherally outside of Houston, throughout Texas, bordering states, and then we can get to the Miamis and the Atlantas and the New York. But I'm building a brand that I believe will live longer than me and will eventually be accessible to almost every American. That's the way I look at this company. There's a very long-term plan here.
I love that. Round of applause. That's genius.
I think I got the thing that that everything I've learned, everything I've been through, everything I've seen, all the connections I've made, the resources that I've been able to build up, I think all of this culminates with this product because everything I know works with what we're doing. Everything I've learned, been taught, all the mistakes I've made, it all comes together with this product that is solid. It's unique, and it's every time people eat it, it's good. So, right? We I don't look at Wendy's and burger companies as competition. I look at like the Nobu of the world and the Mastros, companies that perform high-end concepts and high-quality meals consistently, no matter where the brand is presented. That's how I look at this brand.
So when did you start selling the burger and how?
I started, so I used to host, and I probably will start again, hosting the biggest food award ceremony here in Houston, the Tastemaker Awards. And when you had the burger, I was like, I don't want the check this year. Give me a booth. I have a product and I want to present it. So we presented it at the Tastemaker Awards 2 years ago. We had the longest line at the awards. We had older partners who had a brick and mortar. And so we did our first pop-up there. And my goal was just to make sure that people really liked this burger as much as I liked it. Because if I'm the only motherfucker that like it, we're not going to make no money. But we did the first pop-up. Over 100 people showed up. They liked the burger. Everybody had that same look in their face that I believe I had when I first tried it. And then the rest is history. We've just been popping this thing up where we can, getting space where space was available, paying to enter into different music festivals, flying staff up, equipment up, getting things shipped, renting equipment, and a lot of these things we didn't really make a lot of money, but we got a lot of cultural resonance by getting these testimonials from people, right? And then music festival is double fold, right? So I go to music festival, I get 3 days of commerce, right? I get 3 days to sell my product. I also get 3 days to connect with artists that are at the festival and get those kind of testimonials. And then the third fold is the fact that people go to music festivals from all over the world. So say you go to Coachella, yeah, there's going to be a large contingency of California people because of proximity, but there's also going to be people coming from all over the world because of some of their favorite artists are playing. Some of them don't play often at all, i.e. Frank Ocean this year, right? So you had people coming from all over the world. They come there, they try the burger, and then they go home and try to eat a burger and it don't work. So now they have to start looking and seeing, where is this burger going to be next? Oh, it's going to be a Rolling Loud. I'm definitely going around Rolling Loud. I was on the fence, but now I'm definitely going to Rolling Loud.
What do you think,
guys?
What do you think separates the Trill Burger from other burgers? And how many different versions of the burger are there? Is there a vegan burger? Is there a how many different versions?
Vegan option for people. But Joe, a burger has never been a priority in any space. A burger's an afterthought, right? Typically, if you're eating a burger for lunch, it's because you only got about 30 minutes, right? Typically, if you're eating a burger for dinner, it's because you probably had a few drinks at the club or something, and you're trying to get something to fill up your stomach. But nowhere has a burger ever really been a priority in the space it occupies, except now, right? We take a burger and prioritize it in a space that would never look at a burger, much less most food products in that way. We go to music festivals now, and we are part of the draw, just as much as any artist as outside of headliners are to the festival. We're something that people want to see. But the difference is people can get the burger from me 2 times a day, 3 times on that weekend, but the performer is only going to go on stage 1 time. See, I marketed this burger like it's an album. I was taking it on promo tour when I took it to these festivals. It cost for me to get on those grounds, but now I get concessions when I go to these things. Oh, you don't have to pay that fee. Oh, you don't have to give us that much. Just give us this. Matter of fact, we'll cover the equipment. We just want to be able to tell people that the burger is going to be there. Because
not them charging Bun B at the fucking festivals. You got to be shitting me.
Yeah, no. We get many concessions for festivals. For Lyrical Lemonade in Chicago, they covered almost every expense for us.
Good.
Because they want that burger there. Because it helps, it brings more cultural resonance. That's what the burger is. It's culinary, right? It's food. But this is a cultural brand. It's almost impossible to separate this brand from me, which is who, as a person, is inseparable from hip hop culture. So transitively, the burger does represent hip hop culture. And so it makes sense for it to be in these spaces. It actually can become a priority in these spaces. And now it's not just off of my cultural equity, it's built up its own.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. The lines be around the corner anytime I look at it. Can you tell me?
The burger is solid. The burger is solid.
But can you tell me about? Can I get toppings? Is there a bake? Can I put bake? Is there a bacon option?
So we did bacon one time,
All right.
and that was to celebrate the memory of Big Pokey, legendary member of the Screwed Up Clique, who unfortunately passed away recently. And a big thing about him was he was a big cooker, and he and Lil Kiki, who were best friends in the Screwed Up Clique, used to always argue about bacon. One thought bacon should be flat, one thought bacon should have ripples in it. And that was a big moment of contention between them. And it was a thing that the whole city knew about. And so for one day, we sold a Big Pokey meal. We paired the burger with his exotic pop soda. And if you wanted bacon on a Trill burger, you could have it that day only in memory of Pokey. But you had to buy the Pokey meal to get the bacon.
Dope.
But the Trill burger is basically two beef patties, 2 slices of American cheese, about 3 to 4 slices of pickles, depending on how big the pickle slices are, caramelized onions, and our patented Trill sauce. And those 5 flavors come together in a balance that has never really been seen in an average meal, right? These are things that typically only happen when you order Wagyu beef or fatty toro, right? Like the flavor balances. That's just how we look at our burger. It's not a burger. It's not a cheeseburger. This is a Trill burger. So we aim higher and we hit it on the mark.
Bun, I ain't gonna lie, they picked the right guy to fucking pitch this burger. I'm sitting here starving.
Look, that's my job to make you want to eat that motherfucker.
Oh
That's
my Lord.
I believe I do it pretty good, Joe.
No, you do a great fucking job. God damn. Can you tell me about the politics behind opening the Trill Burger store in Houston?
So the beautiful thing is because I've contributed on so many different levels to this local community, it's something that the city actually wanted to see me successful at, right? We wanted to do a day dedicated to the city, and City Hall allowed us to cook at City Hall, and many of the employees got to come and try the burger. And the city of Houston looks at Trill Burgers as one of its significant destination locations, but also cultural exports, right? They believe that Trill Burger as a brand represents the city of Houston in the way that they want Houston to be seen. So they've been extremely supportive in helping us get through what many people would consider red tape, right? Mm-hmm. Just helping us really like, okay, here's what you guys need to do. Because there are a couple of things I didn't really understand, I didn't know. And so they would be like, okay, here's what you need to do. This is what you guys need to, and you need to have it done by here if you want to get this thing open by that. They were super helpful with trying to make sure that we were doing everything we needed to do to be a successful business that followed code. And I'm a big, big proponent of following code. This shit got to be right. I don't like being embarrassed.
Was code one of the things that you had to learn in real time in terms of opening up, or what were some of the things that some of the hurdles?
So for us, the first big hurdle was trash. Well, the first day we opened up, we sold over 2,000 burgers, right? And that accumulates a lot of trash. And so we realized that we were going to need pickups. Like the dumpster was pretty much filled at the end of the first day. So we realized, 1, we were going to need a bigger dumpster, and 2, we were going to need more pickups per week. After that, it became soda. Our soda machine is the #1 Dr. Pepper soda dispenser in the country. We sell more sodas on a daily basis than anyone else outside of a sporting event. And so because of that, the ice would run out, the syrup would run out, right? Because we're doing 2,000 burgers a day. Most of those are combos. So we're doing anywhere from 1,700 to 1,800 sodas, fountain drinks a day, right? Nozzles come loose, syrup runs out repeatedly, ice got to constantly be replaced. So all of these things that we didn't really know would be things that we knew we would have to, deal with, take the trash out, refill the ice. Things that we thought we could do on a semi-day basis ended up being like an hourly thing.
Wow.
And it was just a matter of really just staying on top of that stuff. And my wife really ended up being the manager of the front house, because she would just come in every day and just sit there and watch things, and just be like, okay, he can't be doing that. We don't need to do that like that. Better way to do that is like this. My wife is a really good general. She knows exactly how I run, how I operate. And so she knows that if I were there, I would be saying this, and that. Don't fuck this up. Watch this. Don't bullshit me. Keep it up. That kind of thing, right? You got to be a good general, but you have to be on the front lines. And that's what I've been trying to do with this brand. Every day I'm in Houston, I'm in that building. I can't be in there all day, but I'm trying to be there when we open. I'm trying to be there when we close, and if possible, be there at some point in the afternoon to just pop up and surprise people and take pictures and greet them.
Who is your social media handler? Because that grand opening looked like a movie.
That would go with Nick Scurfield. Nick is actually one of the co-owners of the company, and he just happens to own a media company. And so basically that's what they've done. They've locked in on making sure that this brand is presented in the best way possible. We've got great videographers like Andy Din, and Mo. We've got great photographers like Donald and Marco, and we got a great team, really that's all they do. They live and breathe social.
Oh, so y'all got a bunch of rich niggas.
No. That's the thing. We got a bunch of down niggas. And this is a multicultural brand. So there's a black owner, a white owner, 2 Asian owners, and a Latino owner.
Wow.
Which gives us entry point into all these different cultural things. So if it's a Latino food festival, Fernando is our entry point. If it's an Asian food festival, Chef Mike Pham is our entry point. If it's a soul food festival, Bumby's the entry point. And for everything else, which is all white people, that's where Nick comes in.
Got it.
But everybody has their own set of tools, skill set, and resources that they bring to the table. So we tend to fill a lot of gaps and we cover a lot of ground collectively. But it's still not a perfect thing because things happen all the time. Because even with 3 of the people in the ownership group coming from the food industry and being very, proficient in the food industry, the shit happened with Trill Burgers no one's ever seen before in their life.
And it's happening so fast. Y'all are killing.
Because I put this bitch on my shoulders, Joe. Here's the thing, right? Going to a music festival and standing around taking pictures and photos is no different than any meet or greet we've ever done. And I come from the area, and you as well, where we went to physical stores, several a day, right? 5 or 6 stores, the Blockbuster, the Tower Music, right? All of these different places, stood there, and people, hour and a half taking pictures, right? Go to another place, hour and a half taking pictures. Go to a radio station, interviews, commercials, all this different stuff, taking pictures, all of that. It's old hat to me. So people look at me as if, man, you're really out here doing it, bro. It's an album. I would have had to do it anyway. This is what you do. You get out, you shake hands, you kiss babies, you let people know you appreciate the effort they're making to spend money with you. And then you do it again and again and again. That's the only way this shit works. This is an IP. I look at this burger as an IP.
It is.
Privileged information, right? The recipe, the seasoning, all of these things are privileged information. So it's not just the product, it's the IP as well.
Your phase 2 sounds like it's just going to be, I don't want to say so much more fun, but it seems like the sky is brighter in this phase 2. Like there's so many different.
I control so much more, right?
Yeah.
And this only works because I learned from the mistakes in phase 1, right? I let a lot of motherfuckers make it. That's really the only way I can say. There was shit I wasn't really concentrating on, I wasn't focused on, and quite frankly, some things I didn't give a damn about. So I got beat out of some shit from time to time, and I let a lot of motherfuckers make it because it was my bad, right? But this time I see it all very clearly. I understand exactly what it takes to make it happen, and I'm willing to make the effort to do it. So this time it's all on me. So any money that's left on the table, that's my fault this time.
Yeah, what a great way to look at it. It's true. I pull so much from the music industry into my phase 2 and just the mistakes I made and the things I learned. It's true. For all of the fuck ups, like the positive you turn it into is beautiful.
You can't be bitter about that shit, Joe. Right?
Oh, trust me, I know. I used to be.
You can't be bitter about leaving money on the table. You just got to figure out how to not do it again, right? Because we spend so much time making other motherfuckers money, right? But the industry is designed to suck all of the energy out of you to where when you leave, you're either jaded about it and don't really want to be a part of it, or you're not hot anymore and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This round 2 allows me to take everything I learned and all of the shit that I used to use to sell other motherfuckers shit to sell my shit.
That's the beautiful part. Selling my shit now. It's mine. Equity, ownership.
And I'm a better salesman now, too.
Yeah, that part. What can the artist do to form some type of stance in solidarity, or not even, but maybe just stance for themselves, similar to what the actors and the writers are going through in Hollywood. Is there anything that artists can do to just stand together, boycott, just fight against some of the streaming revenues and just some of the things that they call standard in the music business? Or are we rendered helpless?
I don't think we're rendered helpless, right? But it takes the biggest of us to care. And when I say that, I'm constantly reminded of Apple and Taylor Swift, right? So when Apple started this thing where the free music trial would start with Apple Music, right? The whole point behind that was because these people would get like 90 days of free music, right? But that will perpetually be forever because new people are going to join up every day, right? New 90 days are going to happen every day. Mm-hmm. And so Apple was justifying that as a reason to not have to pay artists. And Taylor Swift was like, no, like you cannot fucking do that, right? Like you owe us money for this shit. And if you don't make it right, I'm pulling all my shit from Apple. Apple made it right. Right? So if you look at what's going on in Hollywood, it's not just the lower level, lower tiered actors and writers and screenwriters. You see famous people, major celebrities go out and walk the line. We need the biggest people in the music industry to scream that the little people are left hanging. Because if they don't, the industry will assume that there's always enough money to pay off enough people to be quiet so that it never really becomes a thing. And Hollywood said, fuck that. And they've said, fuck that several times. We've never once collectively stood up and said, fuck that. Yeah. Because there's always new motherfuckers. And here's the thing, right? A new actor can come in and be like, fuck him if he doesn't want to act. I'll take the role. But then you still have to get a writer that agrees. You have to get producers. You have to get line directors, right? All of these different parts of the process of filmmaking to agree and cross that picket line. But in hip hop, one dude with one program and one studio can make an album and put it out. Doesn't need all those moving parts, right? And so there's so many people that can actively put out an album and put out music that it's far harder to get all of those people to agree on something, right? And so let's say we agreed on the union, right? Let's just say hip hop said, okay, let's have a union. Now we've got to figure out who contributes what. Because that's going to have to be tiered as well, right? Like independent artists, guys that have only been around, that only get 1,500 streams a month or something like that. Those guys pay entry fee dues, $40 a month, right? $50 a month. Mm-hmm. Guys that are already solidified, guys that do 150,000 streams or more. Like we'd have to tier that system out. But for all of that payment, everybody's going to expect something from whatever union that we put together. We're going to need medical plans. That's going to take a negotiation, right? With Blue Cross or somebody to offer that kind of stuff across the board. There's so many moving parts when it comes to running an organization like that. And then hip hop's got to agree on who's going to be the head of it.
We need a board.
And I think that's where the problem comes in, because you could have people thinking there's going to be regional bias if somebody from the South is the head of it, right? Or East or West. Like who checks all the boxes for everybody anywhere?
No, every region should get a head. Every region should have a head, and it should be a board, and it should be some type of voting system.
And then we got to figure out what defines a region, right? Like what exactly would the Midwest be, right? Because you got guys that rap in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, right? And guys in the Dakotas. And so it just becomes a lot, man. And then what is rap in 2023, right? Like what defines rap music? I was a trustee at the Grammys for 2 years, right? And, there are things that always have to be considered as the music industry evolves, to make sure that it's properly represented. And hip hop is the multiverse, right? Like this shit started with one thing and it's branched out to so many different kinds of fucking things. Mm-hmm. Than some of that are not easily definable. And so I say that to say that there's so many nuances that would go into it, despite the fact that hip hop's the youngest genre, all right? like we're the youngsters. So the beautiful thing is that because we're the youngest, we have the energy, right? Like we have the pulse of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just takes more of the bigger people to let the people know that, hey, while you're sitting around here filling up football stadiums for me, the guy that's playing at the piano bar ain't getting shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's around the kid that works at the fucking sneaker store who told you to follow him on TikTok or whatever is making music. It's even he that has a little momentum and energy is not going to make enough to make a living. That's why he still works at the sneaker store. So it's really going to take the top people to make the world care about the little people. That's always how it's been. The celebrities always have to let you know about some charitable cause and some group of people that's disenfranchised.
I feel
Hip-hop's
like
not going to be.
I feel like that's going to be tough because so many of hip hop's bigger people are busy at the moment being the little person in their new venture, right? Like
Absolutely.
recently it was a report about Puff and what he was going through with owners of Ciroc and De Leon. I feel like every week Jay-Z is in the in the media about a lawsuit, just fighting for his rights to something, right? Like I feel like that's what would make it difficult.
Yeah, because it's not like, I mean, like who made it big and is just sitting around chilling? Rick Rubin, maybe, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Russell over in Bali, right?
Yeah,
Like it's got
no.
to stop. It's got to start from the top. It's got to start from the top. I don't see it any other way. That's the only way people, everyday working class people, stop what they're doing and worry about what they have to worry about and start worrying about other people. When the people whose words they hang on say that. I remember Angelina Jolie when she and Brad Pitt got married. They picked Africa, and they asked her why did she pick Africa. She said because I knew you'd come.
Wow.
So I came somewhere where you needed to come so you could see what was happening.
She did. I remember that.
You know, so you just got to have somebody to do that. Like we got to have somebody super rich. Like Jay-Z needs to come to A13, right? And just be like, see, this is where the future of the music industry is. We need to support them more. They need more support. They need more leverage.
Speaking of
We
the
need
few,
Ho and Nas and people like that who have beat the system, right? Not just guys that got a bunch of money, but guys that have beat the system to speak on the system.
yeah, and LeBron, and we need LeBron too.
Those guys have, right? That becomes the other thing, right? Like whose toes are they stepping on in their new ventures, like you say?
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky.
Yep.
Oh man, what do you?
At least hip hop cares. At least we care about this, right? On some level. This is the second conversation I've had about this in 5 days. A public conversation too. So
I think I think it's super important. I think it's super important. It's just tough. Hip hop is such a competitive thing that togetherness and unity is a tough concept sometimes. Like, and then you have. Wait, go ahead.
Well, I was talking to Burrito about it, right? And she was like, "This is the 50th year of hip hop. If there's any concerns that the public need to know about, now's the time, because they're not going to care in the 51st year."
Well, that's why, man, I was going to ask you how you felt about some of the tributes, some of the hip hop 50th anniversary tributes that have been going on at these award ceremonies. Me personally, it's bittersweet for me because, I mean, you usher out all my favorite artists that, you know, these songs were like photographs in my upbringing, but what's going on with them today? Like, did they...
Well, all these things are subsidized by companies, right? So my thing is, like, they give us a little bit of shine, and then they sell a bunch of commercials. And nobody gets that money, right? Like, everybody wants to celebrate hip-hop, right? Because hip-hop is the coolest thing, and hip-hop is the biggest cultural driving point in economics nowadays. So everybody wants to celebrate hip-hop because you're going to be able to sell a lot of big commercials during a hip-hop presentation for this 50th year anniversary.
Yeah, and that's why we need a reverse 360. We need like a reverse 360.
You guys want to do something about hip hop, you have to pay into the hip hop collective.
Yeah.
We need a split on every marketing. Like, how much are you selling commercials for?
Exactly.
250. All right, we need at least 100 of that, right? And you take 50 and cover your, take 100, cover your production, and you take that. But they should not be the one capitalizing off of this penultimate moment of our culture.
Yeah, no, I couldn't
But
agree.
if we understood that truly, then the hip hop would promote its own tours, its own concerts. And we would just rather just show up and perform. We still operate with that mentality because it takes legwork. Look at what it takes for me to build this brand. I got to be out there rolling out every fucking day in the sun, standing in line, shaking hands and all of that. That's on a very small level of business, right? We would need people devoting real man hours. You know what I'm saying? For an after benefit, right? Like we typically operate in today money. The problem is that many of us don't understand tomorrow money.
No, you
and making that kind of cultural investment, right? Physical investment, spiritual investment into it with the hopes of paying off. But most people ain't never built nothing, Joe. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
most people haven't built something, watched it fall apart, build that bitch back up, right?
Time and time again. Yeah. No, as you speak, I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, like you said about Trillburger, this will outlive you. The move in music, it would have to be a selfless thing. It would be so the next generation after us could just do it differently.
We're the first generation that never sacrificed for the next generation, Joe.
Yeah.
We're the first. We're the first truly selfish generation. We're the ones that we want the PS5s, and we want all that shit too. We want all levels of comfort, and very few of us are willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of other people in this world because they don't believe people are making that sacrifice for them. The shit don't really matter. People you love will be here when you're gone. And even if you can't leave them something tangible, you've got to leave them something true, right? And real. Like people ask me all the time, like, when you're gone, what do you hope? I just hope that when people see my kids and my grandkids, they say, you know what? I knew your dad. Your dad was a good man. I knew your grandfather. That was a good dude. That's the best you can hope for. Because then they understand you come from something, right? That had respect out here, that built a legacy. The burgers is the perfect way for my family to finally be able to contribute to my cultural legacy. Because when the music was being done, the kids were too young and the grandkids weren't here.
Yeah.
But my granddaughter works at Trillburger. My nieces work at Trillburger. My manager's children work at Trillburger. We just brought in a good friend of mine's son in to work with the media company. This is how we transition.
Yeah.
Because if you're a football player, your kids don't have to know how to play football to maintain your legacy. Basketball, baseball, all of that. But the music industry, intellectual property, no, your family needs to understand royalties, mechanical, publishing, streaming, licensing. They have to know these things. It's imperative. So I take my wife to all the meetings. My wife has a great relationship with management and lawyers and accountants. My wife knows who I trust. I'm not hiding money from my wife. You know what I'm saying? None of that type of shit. Because why would I marry a woman that I have to hide shit from? It's not going to work.
All of this shit seemed tough to do without a wife, without a good wife. I ain't gonna lie.
Let me tell you something. You got to have somebody in your corner that can weather the storm. And typically the wives are all in. You know, the wife's gains when you gain, the wife loses when you lose. So we have to believe in each other's dreams because she's going to have to sacrifice to see me win. I've got to sacrifice to see her win. That doesn't work with a girlfriend because the parents will talk you out of that. The friends will talk them out of that shit. Easy. Bitch, you don't need to be up there sweating with them burgers. Bitch, we finna go to the fight.
Bitch, you back with them burgers again?
How do you still?
Bun, you there still?
Yeah. I see what's happening. Calls are coming in.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's that's hilarious. Oh man. Bun, give me what do you eat? What do you eat when you're not eating burgers? Like, what do you eat in the house? Like, just spare time.
My wife cooks it. My wife is a beast. My wife is a beast, and my wife can literally cook anything. My wife reverse engineers food. So we'll go somewhere and we'll eat something. She'll order something, right? And she'll be like, you'll like this, but you don't like this and this. So I'll take that out and I'm gonna put that and that in there. You're gonna love it. And then we'll eat it and it'll be amazing. So I mean, we go to dinner because my wife likes sushi and we don't know how to make sushi. But there isn't any meal my wife can't cook. And the crazy thing is she cooks all of the traditional soul food shit, and I eat almost none of it. Like I don't eat cabbage, mustard greens, yams. I don't eat none of that shit.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, I don't.
Why don't you eat cabbage?
It's texture, like greens and stuff like that. I can't eat it.
Collard greens?
Like I can eat spinach, be raw. Nope. Collard greens, mustard greens. I don't eat none of that shit. My mom cooked it. My wife cooks it very well, and I eat none of it. It's lost on me because I made a conscious decision. I didn't want to eat anything I deemed as slave food. I'm not eating the last of that shit. I'm not eating no pig feet.
Oxtail?
You know, oxtail in my later years introduced to me through Jamaican cuisine. But cooked in my house as soul food, I never touched it. Never touched
fried chicken.
Fried chicken, I'll eat that. But I'm talking about like tripe. You know what I'm saying? The gizzards and liver. No. I don't eat none of that.
No, pig feet and all that.
Because I come from a deep South family. They ate all that shit. My dad and grandparents, they all hunted and brought shit. You know, so I'll eat like rabbit. I eat rabbit. I eat turtle. I eat deer.
You eat turtle?
But yeah, I've eaten turtle. If you get a pregnant turtle, you get to boil the eggs as well.
Bun. Oh, I'm an animal lover, man. Jesus.
I apologize.
Yo, because stop, because the algorithm that will start showing me these dudes that are killing the turtles and cooking them right there in the woods. They season them up, and that shit start looking good. YouTube, they season shit up, and it start looking good. They eating cow brains and all types of shit.
You'd be surprised what you would eat if you see it cooked exactly like some shit you like to eat.
I'm
like if you just you swap out the protein, and you'd be surprised.
Do you fish?
Not fish. I like to go out on the water, throw the rod out, try to get some. My wife's a big fisher, but if I don't take the Dramamine, it's a wrap for me.
Got it.
I'm getting seasick because I like to smoke and drink on the boat, and that shit don't mix. That shit don't mix on the waves.
You golf?
If I don't take the Dramamine, wrap. I do not golf. I have to take it up now, I feel, because shit, half of the catering events we do now is golf tournaments.
Yeah, you kind of got to do it now, Bun.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing value time with people, you know? Yeah, I see a lot of guys using golf as a way to build deeper connections, professional relationships and shit like that with people they're already comfortable around.
No, it's true. It's true. I went, Angie took me a few weeks ago. It was my first time. She joined the club over here in Jersey, and it was tranquil and peaceful, and there were other business people there networking and talking. There were married couples there. It was just a vibe. It was different.
It's bonding, right? It's a bonding experience, but it just depends on what you want to bond on.
Exactly.
Right? Golf just happens to be the conduit. Like they say, you can get, you get 15 minutes in an office, you get an hour at dinner, and you'll get, half a day on the golf course.
Yeah.
So it's just about the accessibility of the power players you're trying to connect with, and golf is a perfect conduit.
Bun, give me the next few cities that you would like to see Trill Burgers pop up in.
Pop up in?
Not pop up in store. Not a pop up.
Oh.
The store.
Dallas for sure. Dallas has always been in competition with Houston over the rights to UGK because we're not from Houston. We're always connected with Houston, but we're really from Port Arthur. So everybody tries to claim UGK.
Y'all are Houston.
So Dallas would always out by, right? Throw more concerts, fill up more stadiums and all that type of shit. So I already see Dallas people coming to Houston to get the burger. If Dallas got a Trill burger, they would want their lines to be longer than Houston's lines. Like that kind of a thing.
I can see it. Got it. Where else?
There's just there's no love lost between Houston and Dallas. Austin for sure.
No,
Austin
outside of Texas.
Oh, I don't know about that. Well, I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, I'd love to do LA and New York, but I'm in no rush to do New York. New York's going to cost me 5 times as much to build out a location. It's going to take 2 to 3 times as long because there's so many Palms degrees in New York to get shit done. There's no timely construction in New York, so I don't anticipate that at all.
Got it. Good point. Oh no, here's what I want to ask you. What do you think about when places put out the dress code and they say, hey, we don't want none of that shit that black people wear. We don't want no jeans, basketball shorts, pants, sack. What do you think when that happens?
As a consumer, I'm offended. As a business owner, I get it. Right? Like, because that's one of the questions that we keep asking ourselves, right? Like, alcohol is an incredible profit point for a business, right? But is that what we want niggas to be on when they in Trill Burgers?
Exactly.
Like, I want niggas to really be like buzzed in my restaurant. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And my shit's already culturally driven. So they would feel like certain exception would be given to certain behavior. I've already had to deal with that on a certain level.
Wow, yeah.
I've had customers come in and try to like crack a beer at the table. And I'm like, you can't drink that, right? It was, oh yeah, my bad, OG. Nah, but I'm saying, like, my nigga, you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, why you came to my shit doing shit you can't do? You wouldn't walk in McDonald's with a beer, nigga. What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't do me like that,
No, couldn't agree.
Don't do me like that. But everybody has
more.
There's some places that are receptive to it. I don't, but there's certain places you got to do something. For example, there are these restaurants where, groups of people like to go in, they go to the bar, they order 1 drink and 1 appetizer, 6 deep, they take 100 pictures, and then they leave. That's a waste of space.
Yeah, you're losing me money.
You know what I'm saying? I'm holding up people that want to actually sit, enjoy a meal, and spend a decent amount of money because you in here all with this cap shit. So now people have to look, you can't sit at a table here if you don't spend X amount of dollars, because that takes a certain amount of money being spent in a restaurant on a daily basis to sustain it. I can't have you niggas coming in here with this cap shit, taking pictures and flexing for the gram. That don't make me no money. Yeah, it's a bunch of cute girls or whatever, but who gives a shit? I'm trying to make money.
Yeah. No,
cute girls are not known for spending a bunch of money.
Sure enough.
Being cute is typically the antithesis to having to spend a lot of money.
Exactly. Talk about it, goddammit. No, you talking right now. That's all true, and I agree, but I still get mad when I walk in and they say, all right, you have 90 minutes to be at this table, and then you have to get up. I'm like, girl, get the fuck out of here.
Like, and that's the thing, right? You can make people comfortable and let people know there are rules without rushing people. Like, that's what I hate about, like, just to be very honest, New York Carbone. I always feel like they're hovering.
Yeah.
I don't feel like in Dallas Carbone. I don't feel like that in Vegas Carbone, right? I feel like in New York, because there's only so much space available in that, in that location. Yeah, so I always feel rushed. But when I go to Nobu, I never feel rushed, right? I always feel like, if I want to extend this experience, nobody really has a problem with it. I'm sure they would love for me to turn that table over in a certain amount of minutes, but if I'm still drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm still spending a little money, I feel comfortable. Yeah, bring me another bottle, know?
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more. Bun, I so enjoyed our conversation. I can't wait to see you in Atlanta. I can't wait to try Trill Burger. And I can't wait to see how our season goes in fantasy football, man. Of course, I love you.
Joe, we got to do better this year, bro. We gotta do better. I need somebody else to hold 11 and 12 businesses over.
Honestly, for real. I feel your passion. I'd be depressed. I was depressed last season. Like, that's how sad I was when it was bad like that. Then you get those games where you bad and you need a win, and then you lose by 2 points or 3 points. It's like, oh my God, it could really hurt your pride as a man. But no, this year, I'm on my shit. I'm on my shit. Fuck that. Hello?
I'm here now. I don't know what keeps happening.
Oh, you got a phone call probably. Anyway, I was just running
Yes.
my mouth about how no, I'm not going to let that happen this year in fantasy football because it's too depressing. It's too depressing when you do bad.
Yeah, no, it really ruins your. And I'm in like 3 other leagues, right? So I'm like doing great in those leagues, but our league is. I'm sorry, that's the preeminent league. I want to be successful in your league, and I want to shut Rappaport's ass up.
Yeah,
Like, that's my whole.
him and Kaiser. Oh, they're annoying. G-Spin, I don't mind when he wins because he knows how to win. He wins gracefully. Same with Sav, but Kaiser and Rap.
By game 6, Kaiser's season is done. He's washed. From as long as I've been in the league, I don't know what he was before I got there, but he.
No, he was good. He was good. He had a good team before you got there. He was good. I can't shit on him.
I need to see the real Kaiser.
All right, no, you and me both. I can't wait. Well, I will be in Atlanta. Bun, thank you for taking the time out. I love you. Continued success with everything you're doing. Round of applause, goddammit.
Thank you, bro. I can't wait to see you eat your first Joe burger. I really cannot wait to see that genuine moment of clarity. The whole world's gonna make sense when you eat your first Joe burger.
Good. I can't wait. You are the best burger salesman I've ever spoken to.
Wait till I get my hands on another real product. I'm gonna keep it going. We got the algorithm beat on this one, so we're good to go.
Oh man, in person, I'll ask you what your next trick may be.
I'll tell you too. I got eyes on it.
I know it sounds like it.
I love you, Joe, man. Thanks so much, man, and congratulations on everything, bro. You deserve everything you got and more.
Thank you so much, Bun. I love you too, man. I'll see you soon.
See you in Atlanta, my brother. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary, the iconic Bun B, man. Bun B. I know that Snoop is everybody's uncle in hip hop, but Bun is like right there for me as the uncle in hip hop. We didn't really get to talk about music so much, probably because he's been around so long and has had every music question in the world. And burgers is where we are currently. But man, it's just such an honor. Such an honor to speak to somebody like Bun. An honor to have his phone number, and an honor to have that relationship, man. I can't thank him enough.